Hey, what's up today? Let me tell you what's up with me. As you may well be able to tell, I am on my e-bike again and have a goal in mind. Trying to make up for a lost cause, or I don't know what you'd call it. It was a debacle. Recently, and I had mentioned that I was going to do this in kickstand. For some reason, I cannot remember to put the kickstand up when I take off on this thing. Come on, Todd. Be sharp. So I had mentioned a couple of times that in an upcoming video, this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, that I would be riding the Brenham hike and bike trail, which is 2.2 miles, with the sock monkey, my buddy Kerry. And we set a date and time to do that. We were going to meet at the starting point, which is at the entrance to Brenham High School, right there by the tennis courts. That's the launch pad for the hike and bike trail. I'm sure glad she stopped. So anyway, I even did a video about preparing for that bike ride out in my garage the night before, where I had strapped a GoPro to my bike helmet and mounted a GoPro to my bike handle and had a battery pack all set up because GoPro batteries don't last all that long. Anyway, I was set to go, and I'm sitting there at my desk the next morning. I believe we were supposed to meet at 10:30 a.m. and I'm doing some editing or something, and I look down and it's like 10:12. Oh no. And I hate to be late for anything, and I sure don't want to tell my buddy I'll be there at 10:30 and not show up at 10:30. So everybody, you see, I'm getting a little winded. I'm trying to do as much of this as I can. I'm on an incline and I'm only on power assist 2, so I'm having to do some pretty tough pedaling here, which is good for me. So anyway, I rushed out to the garage, hopped on my bike and took off. And I don't know if I was all the way there or it was almost to the launch point of the hike and bike trail. I realized I didn't have a bike helmet on, and I didn't have a camera on my bike helmet because I didn't have my bike helmet. You dummy. So Kerry got there a little bit after me, and we decided to improvise. And what I did, I have that camera. It's like a headband camera. I had that with me, so I put the headband cam on, and that was facing forward, and the camera I had mounted on my bike facing forward, I turned it around and faced it toward me where I could film me, and I thought that would work pretty good. What I didn't do was hook up my external mics with the fuzzy windshield to combat the wind noise, because like today it was pretty windy. You couple the wind, the natural wind, and then you also have, when you ride a bike 10 or 15 or 20 miles an hour, this bike has a throttle or a governor. It will not exceed 20 miles an hour. You go a little bit over that if it's steep downhill, because that's just the gravity helping, but it's not going to provide any power to make you go that fast. So after what else happened? So we decided to take a little detour about halfway through the hike and bike trail. Oh no. Oh no. This is horrible. Well, Jamie Macon, the train lover, you get to see me wait on a train while I'm on my ride. I hear that train coming, it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, and I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps passing by, and I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Anyway, back to the troubles that the sock monkey and I had on our hike and bike trail ride. We decided to take a detour about halfway through the trail. We peeled off and went down to my house so I could grab my helmet. And for the rest of the day, which would include the last half of the ride, plus we had plans to go get tacos and have a couple of beers and stuff like that, hang around downtown. When we got to my house, got everything situated, got my bike helmet on with my camera on it, we were ready to go, and his e-bike had quit on him. Wouldn't go. He could pedal it, but there was no assist, and we still had a long ways to go. And I didn't find this out or realize it until a little ways down the road, 2 or 3 blocks. And I offered him, let's go back and get my pickup, and we'll haul it. And nope, he is a United States Marine through and through, to the core, no pun intended. He was determined he would just pedal it the rest of the way, the rest of everything we were going to do, and he did. He thinks he's got it figured out. He thinks it's a brake switch that when the brake is applied on an e-bike, it will not allow you to have any power. Right? Makes sense. You don't want to get power when you're trying to stop. They run you out in the middle of the road. So I don't know if he's got that fixed yet or not. Anyway, so between wind noise, when we get back to the video, the wind noise was horrible on all that I captured. I think he got some pretty good video. I have shared with him all that I have, and he's trying to piece together a video with all the different clips we have from the 5 or 6 different cameras we had running that day, and I'm sure he'll come up with something. So anyway, today I'm trying to think of what could I do today, and the sock monkey, he'd probably be willing to ride this again with me. But what I'm doing right now, he can't ride the hike and bike trail without getting to it first. So all this time we are not on the hike and bike trail. As you may have noticed, we're in traffic in Brenham, and I was just feeling lucky today, hoping I would survive this, and always good to get some exercise. And with the sock monkey, he's playing golf today. He's got a regular group that he plays golf with, and if you saw my previous video where he re-gripped my clubs for me, I have every intention of starting playing golf again after 10 years, but I haven't done that yet. We had one more to do. I needed a new grip on my putter, which I didn't have that grip when he did the rest of them the other day. So I got that, and a couple of days ago, stopped by his house, and he put that one on, so I should be good to go as far as the golfing. Someday soon, I'm going to start out just going to the driving range. Okay. This is the beginning of the hike and bike trail. I'm going to kind of reset here make sure everything looks good. I'm going to look at my cameras on the app and make sure they're still going. The GoPro 10, it's 15 minutes in. The Dirty Dozen, that's what I call my GoPro 12, it's still going. We seem to be in good shape. Okay, off we go. Now that we're on the hike and bike trail to what I intended to talk about during this. And that is, well, first of all, if you watch any of my videos, or you'll see some of them, I mentioned quite a bit about my health and fitness, the physical or medical problems that I've had recently. And I decided early on I was not going to make my whole channel about that. I try to do some fun stuff, different things, highlight some interesting and talented people, things like that. But like yesterday's video, I showed an example of a good meal that you can have if you're on a low carb, no sugar diet to help you lose weight. And what you eat is a big part of it. It is. But people, hi, how y'all doing? People lose weight with a, I should have showed you. Right there to your left, I'm going to turn around. Talk about Brenham High School a little bit and what happened Thursday night. There you go, Brenham High, home of the Cubs. So Brenham is a big time sports town, and football is no exception. Haven't won the state championship lately, but we've been to it a couple of times in the last few years. Got beat by Aledo both times, I believe. Well, the last district game for Brenham was Thursday, and they played, I believe it was Belton, and Brenham was behind 24-12 at the half. They scored 4 touchdowns in the third quarter. They won 42-24. So they're on to the first round of the playoffs. They're in 5A Division II, and they'll be playing Texas City this coming Friday at Cubs Stadium. So I think I might go to that, actually. Back to the story here, what I want to talk about. So people lose weight eating salad, you know, or there's all kind of diets. You've heard of them all, you know, and they'll all work. And here's the bottom line. My surgeon, the surgeon that put the stents and did the roto-rootering in my groin where I could get blood flow back to my legs, and it would allow me to walk, well, prevent me from having my legs amputated. He's a superhero, if you ask me. His name is Jack Eitzen, Dr. Jack Eitzen. He's in Temple, cardiovascular surgeon. And he sat down with me on my last visit, and even though I had blood flow, we talked about how I couldn't walk any distance to speak of without muscle spasms, pain, just unbearable. And that's when I weighed 265 pounds and upwards of that at times. And he said, I told him, I promise you, next time you see me, Dr. Eitzen, I'm going to have lost a lot of weight. I'm going to do the keto diet, which I had done before. In 2016, I did it, a challenge with a bunch of people at work. And in that one, I think I started at like 247 and got down to 217. It was a competition, a 6-week competition, I think it was. So, but as soon as the competition was over, I went right back to eating double cheeseburgers and chicken fried steak and plates full of enchiladas and Spanish rice and refried beans and 2 or 3 flour tortillas, and just like I had always eaten. And it didn't take long. Not only was I back at 247, I blew right through that. And part of the reason I gained so much weight, I'm going to go back a little bit. This is kind of a tougher part to tell. We all know people that have gotten in that situation like I was. You know, it's a double-edged sword. You're overweight, you can't exercise, it just gets worse and worse, and it just builds on itself. And I had seen that. Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
That's the lady that told me to watch out for the crazy people in the trees at night around here. So anyway, if you go back to 2022, around the spring of 2022, and leading up to that, my sister, she had gotten in bad shape. She had diabetes, she had sciatica, and she had to quit working. She just couldn't do it anymore. She actually worked for Faith Mission. I did a video about them, Faith Mission and Higgins Branch and the cannery, but she just couldn't do it anymore. And it got to the point, all she did was sit in a recliner and watch TV and pretty much chain smoke one cigarette after another, and she drank 8 or 10 Cokes a day, pure sugar-laden Coca-Cola. The only food she ate was processed food like TV dinners, frozen dinners, things like that. And I would admonish her. I was very frustrated with her. I said, Terry, you have to lose some weight. You have to start exercising. I don't care if you can only walk to the end of the street and back. Start doing that, and then it'll be a little further and a little further and a little further, or you're just going to sit here in this chair and die. I know, I'm going to. And it was always later, right? It was always later. And she drew her Social Security, like Social Security disability or something. At the time, let's say I think she was 66 years old. And so I had to help her. I would order her groceries from H-E-B and have them delivered. Enough groceries to last 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I give her, she'd stopped drinking regular soda, and I convinced her to start drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. And she did good with that for about the last 6 months or 8 months, maybe even a year of her life. Now, every now and then I would catch her with a regular red soda, but she says, just one once in a while. Anyway, so I quit smoking in January of that year, and money is fungible. I was buying her groceries and cigarettes, or giving her the money for that, and so she smoked about 2 packs of cigarettes a day. That's like $350 a month. And one of the reasons I quit smoking, primarily for my health, but I thought, man, I can save a lot of money because I smoked about that same amount. And I told her, if I'm not going to buy my cigarettes, I'm not going to buy yours either. You got to quit smoking. And she did. She quit smoking. In about a month after she quit smoking, I had a grocery order delivered to her, and I myself was not in great shape. I had a lot of I had what they call pain at rest. My legs hurt me all the time, and we had just gone through COVID, and just a lot of factors. And I was always one. I thought that people, when they talked about depression, that was just silly. You know, you just got to pull yourself up. You know, grab your bootstraps, put your boots on, and you know that's just the way I was raised. Whatever needs done, you get up and go do it. And I did. You know, I was able to take care of my job. Luckily, it had evolved to the point that I could mostly work from home. And my boss was great about it and everything. Well, anyway, in the past, over some period of time, I would talk to Terry or text her. Terry's my sister. At least every other day. Usually every day. And in the vehicle she had, she was driving an old pickup of mine, and I covered the insurance, had automobile insurance, trying to help her all I can and encourage her. But she just never, she became immobile, and it just spiraled down. And I realized one day, I said, you know, I hadn't talked to Terry in a while. This was in March of 22. And I texted her. It was about 11 o'clock at night. And, one other thing, because of the sciatica, all the things she was dealing with, she had, in her past, she had been badly addicted to opioids, but she had gotten off of that while she was in Brenham. Hadn't done any of those pain medications in some years. Well, she'd gotten back on them. So it's not unusual that she wouldn't answer my text or call or answer a call or whatever when it was later in the evening. So I didn't think much about her not responding when I pinged her. And then the next day, I realized she hasn't gotten back with me. And I texted her 2 or 3 times more, called her, no answer. And I kind of knew, I don't know, just knew in my heart, this ain't good. So I went over to her apartment, and as soon as I had a key, as soon as I opened the door, I knew this is bad. So as best we can figure, she had died about 7 or 8 days prior to me finding her. And the reason for this story is I personally know at least a half a dozen people that are in a similar shape to my sister. And I'll tell you this, what happened to her, I got to thinking about it, because for the first year after my surgery, and I didn't have constant leg pain anymore. That surgery was in September of 22. I really didn't change anything. It was like, I don't know if in the back of my mind I thought, well, that fixes that problem. Don't have to worry about that. I can go back to just doing what I was doing. And I guess I still had some, when you're depressed or upset or worried, I don't know. It's just, I think, a natural thing to eat because it feels like it'll make you feel better. And for whatever reasons, I'm not a psychologist, and I'm really not into that psychobabble stuff. But I just wanted to eat all the time. I ate snack crackers and Cheetos and corn dogs, and I mean, every hour and a half I'm going. I mean, I had 3 or 4 meals a day and 8 or 10 snacks a day, and lots of Bluebell ice cream, and I don't know, I guess I thought it would make me feel better. And it wasn't until I got to thinking about it in January of this year, I thought, dude, you were so mad at your sister Terry for what she did and didn't do, and you're doing the exact same thing. You haven't changed anything. You're leading down, you're headed down the path of self-destruction. So I decided I'm going to do something about it. I had already quit smoking a couple of years earlier. I said, if I can quit smoking, I can quit eating like a pig and get healthier, and that's going to help me walk. And when I walk, that's going to help me feel better and lose weight and all of that stuff. So on January 1st, that's what I started doing. And I so look forward to, in January, I think it's like the second week of January is when I go to visit Dr. Eitzen for my annual checkup, review of my medical condition, my artery. I'm going to be so proud to walk in and say, hey, Dr. Eitzen, I made you a promise that this year I was going to do it. And I have kept my promise. After what he did for me, I owed him that, and I owed it to myself. I owe it to my sister, everybody, my kids. You know, I want to be there. I want to spend as much more time, as many more years as I can with my kids. Maybe grandkids, I don't know. No grandkids are in the immediate future, I know, but you never can tell. And we did it. I yacked and yacked and yacked, and this is going to be a long video. But I really wanted to talk about motivation. What motivates you? You can know the right foods to eat and what will help you lose weight, and that you need to exercise and all those things. But you have to go do it. You have to have motivation. My sister could not get herself motivated, and she died way too young. And I know other people that are the same way. Some people that I worked with gotten in bad shape, and I saw one guy that I used to work with recently, and he never did quit smoking. I used to go out back behind the office and smoke with him, and I'd see him on Facebook, and he was on one. He had retired, but in the picture on Facebook, he had one of them oxygen tubes, you know, oxygen tank sitting beside him. It looked horrible. And a couple of months ago, I heard he died, and he was morbidly obese, and it smoked like a train. There's a price to pay for everything. I'm paying the price for all the mistakes I made today, and it can't be fixed. I mean, my arteries are never going to just clear up. The two arteries, the main artery to each of my legs is completely 100% blocked. Fortunately for me, and God in His wisdom provided alternate paths. It's not as much blood flow, but it's enough that I can lead I wouldn't say a normal life. I have to be careful. If I didn't have the assist on this e-bike, the ride I just made would be no, not happening, not even close. But it does allow me to get some exercise, some movement, keep my flexibility, you know, all that good stuff. So if you're in the situation I was in, or something similar, I pray for you. And all I can tell you is it ain't gonna happen by some miracle. You gotta get up and make it happen, whatever that takes. Whatever your struggles are in life, I'm pulling for you. I know how you feel, and God can help you if you let Him.